Well, if you have other partners or shareholders buying the business with you, then those people all as a group need an agreement as well. You need to consider what if down the road you don't get along or someone for whatever reason needs out of the business. So you'll need a separate agreement for each of them. Well, if you find that the business is completely different, you have to find out whether it's a fundamental breach or whether there's been breaches of the terms within your agreement itself. So if there were representations made in the written document, you may have an out, or if it's entirely different than what you expected in the first place. You can prevent a seller from competing with you after the sale if you have a good non-competition clause in your agreement. Otherwise, they're free to go across the street and start selling or engaging in the same business as you. So you really need to get an experienced lawyer to draft a non-competition clause that will be enforced by the courts.
So the lawyer's role in the purchase and sale of a business is providing legal advice on that purchase and sale. Often we're asked to provide business advice on that purchase and sale, and we're not insured to provide that. The nature of our role will vary depending on whether we're acting for the buyer or for the vendor. In both cases, it makes sense for us to assist in the due diligence, depending upon what the relationship with the parties is. From there, we can assist in the negotiation of pre-deal terms, which will ultimately culminate in an LOI or an MOU, and then we can also assist in discharging certain due diligence obligations prior to negotiating the final agreement of purchase and sale. The benefit of due diligence is allowing a purchaser to determine what the nature of risk is they're absorbing in the purchase and sale of a business. From the vendor's perspective, it allows them to handle any skeletons in the closet before the sale. Is it worth the cost? Well, that really depends upon the relationship of the parties. Are the parties familiar with each other? If so, the due diligence requirement for a purchaser may be different than if they were truly arm's-length parties. There's a lot of reasons why deals fall apart. The most common is generally the party's inability to negotiate risk versus price. Generally, when parties are asking each other to take on risk, that comes at a price. And if the parties are unable to negotiate that, then often the deal falls through. Other common reasons are financing. If you can't get financing in time to close the deal won't happen. Another very common reason is third parties. If third-party consent is required in order for the deal to go through, and that's not obtained in the timeline necessary to close the deal, then the deal won't occur.